What's up, Gibbs? It's Guys. In this video, we're going to talk about calibration software. This is basically to flatten out your room's response so you can get a more accurate listening environment. Okay, so if you've ever heard about that, or if you haven't, that's fine. I'm going to show you everything. Okay, I just got these acoustic panels back here, and I put them up, and basically they're bass traps because this is a small studio space, which I'm assuming most people that are going to be watching this video have smaller home studios. So this is perfect for you, okay? And then I got this guy back here. Whoop!
Where's he at?
No, this guy, you. So this is Smoke.
Smoke Williams.
And you're probably wondering, why is that guy here? Why do you need two people for this? I don't need two people for this. But this guy right here, he is an artist that I work with. But he's also this panel right here.
The big one?
Yeah, the big one. The biggest one.
The biggest one.
The most expensive one.
No big deal. Yeah, man, you didn't have to throw that in.
I didn't have to, but I'm going to, and I did. So that is what's called a corner bass trap. And it's for all the buildup in the corners for the bass frequencies. And what this guy did was donate it to the studio. It was over $200, and this guy donated it. So what I'm going to do is before we start, I'm going to have him sign his name on that panel. And any other panel that's donated is going to be signed as well by whoever donates it. But in this case...
Y'all hear that?
In this case...
That? Contact him, donate.
It's him. So after we do that, we're going to get into how to actually do it. And hold on. I'm going to move my face real quick. This right here is the software that we're going to be using. There's many softwares, but this one is called Sound ID Reference. And it is the top of the line, probably, arguably the best one that you can use. And that's what we're going to do is we're going to go through this, and I'm going to show you how to get your room at least as close to flat as possible. And you don't need acoustic panels, okay? This software kind of takes over when you don't have all this treatment. But when you do have treatment, it's kind of icing on the cake. All right, so I'm going to go grab a Sharpie so this guy can sign it, and then we're going to get into it. All right, got my Sharpie. Do the honors.
Yes, sir.
So he's going to sign this bad boy.
Crazy.
Oh. Boom. This fool has this whole panel and chose to rate this big.
I'm not an artist, bro.
You don't have to be an artist. You just make it to where people. Can you even see that? Can y'all see that?
It looks like smoke, right? No, they can't freaking see it. Of course they can't see it. But hey, it looks like smoke. That's how I kind of want my logo to be, you know? Like,
no, I like
it's gonna
it.
Be terrible.
It's just this big.
That's I know. You should have said. That's why I asked.
Put the and panel underneath. Put the smoke panel.
No, we'll do that cooler.
All right, we'll figure something else out.
We're like drawing on it. We'll make it cooler, but that's the original.
All right.
Like when you put the kid's hand in the concrete. Right there. All right.
Let me make this bigger, just so y'all can maybe see it. Sorry, I still have my face up in the corner. Do you see that? It's this big. He had the whole panel. Okay. Anyways.
I wanted it to I put it there to express the size of the panel, to let you know just how big the panel is.
Dude. Yeah. Proportions.
Because I mean, yeah,
proportions
sure.
matter.
Like, imagine though I write that on a notebook paper. All right, that's taking up 7 lines. Like, that's massive, all right?
Yeah, freaking massive,
Sorry,
dude.
I buy the big ones.
All right, well, he done signed it, so we're gonna move on. He signed it. We're gonna move on, and we're gonna calibrate this room, get a little analysis with this Sound ID reference software. But first, I have to point something out. Okay, if you have this studio right here is considered a small studio. If you have a small studio, that's anything from, let's say, mine's 9 by 8 feet, right? It's almost a little square. Square rooms are not good for bass frequencies. They build up, bass builds up. So anywhere from like anything under maybe 13, 14 feet on any wall, that's considered a small studio. So your main focus, if you're going to be buying acoustic panels, is bass trapping. That doesn't mean that you don't worry about the high end, but mostly you're going to be looking at the low end and trying to take care of that. And I'll prove it to you right here. If you look, this is my room's response. This is before I put these panels up, but this is my room's response. A lot of buildup in these lower frequencies, right? You notice this kind of looks like a comb. It's called comb filtering. But look at the mids and then the highs. Through here, it's almost flat, which is what you want in a mixing environment. It's almost flat. And we have a big dip down here and another boost up here. But for the most part, the mids and high mids, those are pretty flat. So most of our attention is going to be down here in the low end on smaller studios. Okay, that's why I bought all these bass traps. These aren't just regular panels. Okay, I wanted to point that out before we got going. But now that I have pointed it out, let's get going. And I'm going to show you how to use Sound ID reference by Sonar Works to analyze your room, and it's going to give us a new response. Hopefully the goal here is these get closer to this 0 line than it was before. If it doesn't, then I just wasted my freaking money on these panels. But I highly doubt that's going to happen. But here we go. Let's get into it. First, Sonar Works will send you a microphone. Looks like this. Some people call it a pencil mic. It's called an RTA mic. And this will pick up all the way from below 20 hertz all the way past 20,000 hertz. And you'll see why we need a pencil mic here in just a second. I'm going to hand this off to my good old buddy, old pal, Smoke.
Like a baton.
And he's going to show you how to get this done.
Negative.
Okay, now, so what you're going to do is you're going to take this pencil mic and you're going to plug it in to an XLR cable.
Looks like that.
And then what it's going to do is it's going to make him go all around the room and all these different positions, and it's going to send out this noise. It's like boop, and it's going to read the response of the room at that position, and it's going to make us do it like 30 times. So you need to make sure that your room is clear of debris and make sure it's clean. So, because you don't want to be bumping into things and trying to reach over things to get to a certain spot. Just clean up your room before you do this, okay?
I moved the bomb.
Gotta be quiet about the bomb, dude.
Oh, my bad, bro. I forgot.
Golly, man. He's
So-
saying I was the bomb.
Yeah, it's not like a real bomb.
Okay, so these, I'm going to point out something real quick. This Cali right here, my speakers are Cali audio speakers. So nothing changed except for the placement of my speakers, because I turned them from vertical to horizontal. And then I put these panels up. Everything else is the same. So I'm not using different speakers. So when I do this, I'm going to have to name it something different so I don't get confused. But this is how we do it. You ready? You also want to, we have this fan on over here. Make sure you got a quiet listening environment or just something that's normal. So like if you're like me and you have kids running around and you constantly have like a little bit of background noise, that's fine because that's how you're going to be listening to music. You really don't want that. You really want to go out there and, you know, show them what's what.
Yeah.
And tell them, hey, you calm it down out there. But, you know, it is what it is. Kids are kids. Pull off the belt. Smack yourself with it. So I just turned off the fan. Now it's a pretty quiet place. So what we're going to do is first we're going to go add new preset over here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so add new preset. Once this pops up here, select your calibration profile. What we're going to do is add a new speaker profile. Okay, you can also do this for your headphones, which I don't know where they are, but let's say these headphones, these aren't the ones I use, but let's say these headphones, I want to flatten these out. Well, if you pick headphones, it'll give you a list of like literally every headphone that's ever been made. And then you can set a new profile for that. So it works with headphones too. But in this case, it'll be create new speaker profile. Okay, here we go. Get started. Now, I'm going to move this over. There we go. So basically what this is saying is, what is your speaker configuration? Right, it's reading what my configuration is already. I have 2 speakers. I do have a sub down below, but that is okay. This will be just fine for that because it's going to read those frequencies anyways. Doesn't really matter. But really, if you have like a Dolby Atmos or some sort of 360 and you have speakers behind you and you got all whatever setup you have, it'll read that and then you can drop down and pick whatever it is. But in this case, I have a left and right. Next. Phantom power to the microphone. Mine is on. Check your input, and this is just a checklist, whatever, saying it's just reminding you to do things. Your input and output is routed to the same device. Yep. Microphone signal cannot be heard through the speakers. No, I cannot hear myself through the speakers. Next. Okay, what audio interface are you using? I'm not using Avid. I'm not using that. It's another interface. I use a Focusrite Scarlett 18i20. Okay, so what he's going to do is tap the microphone.
Right now?
Yep. Okay, input signal detected. So next, sound ID reference. So there's going to be a number on the side.
38E761.
Yep.
Bam.
Different measuring. Nope. So basically right here, if you use the free softwares, there's one that's called, I think, REM measurement or something like that. Don't get tricked by the free softwares because it's not free. The software might be free, but you still have to go out and buy a pencil mic, which is kind of expensive. So might as well just pay for Sound ID and get the pencil mic sent to you and the software. You don't have to worry about it. Just wait till it comes in.
Perfect.
Perfecto. Perfect. Okay, your individual calibration. Okay. So see how it read what kind of interface I have. Boom. So I'm going to test this. It's going to test my left.
Left speaker.
Okay. And my
Right speaker.
all right.
I had it wrong this whole time.
I thought the right was the left one.
Oh, I got my directions mixed up.
Next up, listening spot. Okay, speaker volume. Reduce your output gain for the safety before playing this test tone. All right. So this is my volume knob, is what it's saying.
Please adjust the volume of your output device. My voice should sound at normal conversation volume.
Okay.
Left speaker. Right speaker.
I don't know if you can hear that, but I assume you can because I see a signal coming through the mic. Yes, my volume is set. Clear out anything you can bump into. I've already told you to do that, okay? So don't make that mistake. Hold the measurement microphone in your hand. That's what we're going to do. Keep the microphone in the center of your listening spot. So at first, this is my listening position right here. When I'm mixing, I do the equilateral triangle of my
Put it
speakers.
right there, right?
So the tip of it will be like where my ears are. So basically, I'll move out of the way, but that's where you'll put it, is where your ears are going to be at your listening position. Adjust the mic to the level of your ears while seated. That's what I just said. Point the microphone between your speakers, meaning your, what is it called? Phantom. I can't remember. It's phantom something, that where you have speakers over here, but somehow your brain perceives it to be right here in the middle. You know what I'm talking about? That's called your phantom something. And that's what it's saying. Point it at right in between the speakers. Got it. Okay, position your microphone in the listening spot. Okay, I'm going to move out of the way so he can put it there.
Yeah, that dude pushed his chair.
Yeah, I don't push my chairs.
Look, I'm just like him. I'm like,
Okay, so I'm going to sit over here and work the microphone, or work the mouth. So start adjusting. Okay, so right now it's telling us, hey, your input level is not high enough. So we need to boost the input level until it matches and goes in between where that check mark is. Okay, we're good. All right, now it's ready. Imperial, because we in the US, baby. Don't stand between your speakers. Cool. Hold the microphone. So this right here, you're literally gonna put the microphone like this close to your mid-range speaker. I'm gonna step back.
Stay where you are. Measurements in progress.
High noise detected. Okay, so back it off a little bit. Maybe a little bit more.
right here.
Yeah, like right there.
Stay where you are. Measurements in progress. Left speaker done.
Okay, left speaker's done. We're gonna move to the right speaker, do the same exact thing.
Right speaker done.
Dope.
Done. Thumbs up.
Okay.
Look at that Kanye sweater he's wearing.
Review dimensions. Okay, so this is actually kind of crazy. This is like the craziest part of it to me. Okay? This right here will tell you, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger actually.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Everything. We in Texas too right now.
In Texas. It's in Texas too.
So right here, whatever it tells you, if you got a tape measure and you measured it from whatever speaker that you used on, or whatever cone that you used on the left side and the right side, it'll be literally exactly that. So this says 4 feet 3 inches apart. It'll be that if I pulled out a tape measure. Now it's going to send us all around the room, and I am just going to show just a few of them because that would be boring to show you all of them, but we're going to just know that it's going to take like 30 of them. I'm just going to show a few, but here we go. 2. Tune in. Okay, so it's gonna read where you are in the room. So hold that up. Scoot back until the tip of it is right there in the middle of the circle.
You brought a gamer. So how do I get it there though?
Here, I'll show you. Here.
I'm like confused.
Trust me, the first time I ever did this, it was the most frustrating. It took me almost 3 hours because I couldn't figure this out. I was like, what is it telling me to do?
It's like a hard game. So close. Oh, look at that.
Get it now?
I can't go any farther. I don't get it. You're way better. That is incredibly hard.
Yeah.
Quit moving. Oh man, I'm all sweaty.
Dude, that's it. 37. 37 of them. Okay, now we are done. I hope none of the audio messed up because this thing's really sensitive and I had it plugged in and I started talking and I don't know. But I unplugged it. We are good. Put the pencil mic to the side. And this is the new room response. It looks very similar. And I'm hoping once I compare them that I don't see that I wasted my money and he didn't waste his money. You know what I mean?
Yao Ming.
But something to keep in mind when you're doing this, keep the mic pointed at the center of your listening position and in between the speakers everywhere you go and at your ear level. So it needs to be this high everywhere you go. It doesn't need to be higher or lower. And then also you don't want it pointed out or that way. It needs to be pointed right in the middle. So you're going to turn it like this as you go. Okay? Cool. Now let's save and finish this. And let's name it Cali Acoustic Treatment. Let's do that. Save. Measurements. Okay, close that. Boom. So go up to new preset. It's not just going to automatically show up. New preset. And then select calibration and open existing. And then pick the one you just did. Okay. Now, let's look at the difference. I'm going to go back and forth between what it was before and what it is now. So this is that frequency I was telling you about. It's pretty much all the way down here. One of these is left speaker and one of the lines is right speaker. So it was almost taken out completely in one of them. So if you look on the old one, once it pulls up, see how high this was? And now it seems like it's even higher up at like 100 or 200 hertz. Yep. And then about 80 hertz. Let's see the difference. It's about the same. It cut out a little bit right here. And let's look at this low end. Let's see if it did anything. It's about the same. So let's look everywhere else. In the mids, it's basically the same. There's actually a little bit more buildup here in between 1 and 2K. Let's see if it fixed this a little bit. It did. Brought this down just a tiny bit. Didn't really do much here. So that's just 4 panels. I actually need, I'm going to buy, I think, 17 more. Okay, so that was just the first 4. We got this frequency taken care of, which I think is between 300 and 500. So we got that cleaned up. It actually boosted a little bit more, about 200, which I don't like. And then right here, it cleaned up just a tiny bit. And right here, it cleaned up just a tiny bit. So I would say we're moving in the right direction. It's not going to be a huge game changer difference, but we're moving in the right direction. So once I get all, 21 or 22 panels up, all these bass traps, all of this will get pretty close. So now, once we have the analysis done, we'll click enable. And basically what this software is going to do is flip the frequency response, which cancels it out. Not cancels it out, but like flips it to where it levels it out. So if we have it here and we do the inverse, it's going to bring it down to 0, or at least as flat as possible. And when you're mixing and mastering, you want your room to be flat as possible. So you want your room treatment to get your room as flat as possible. And then really this kind of software, just icing on the cake, just does that last little touch. All right, so I'm going to insert this into the video. I was editing and I was kind of messing with the software, and I realized that after you turn the calibration on, when it's green like this, right before it was, you click this, it was purple, right? We were looking at that. And when you turn the calibration on and then go back and forth, you can see the differences a lot better. So it actually helped a lot more than I thought. And so if we go back and forth, let's take a look at this. So this is very, I would say, comb filter-ish. It's almost like a smooth sine wave, right? Pay attention to from about right here at about 250 hertz all the way through to about maybe 6K. Pay attention to that part. Look how much more flat, closer to 0 it is all the way through to here than before. Look at that. It's all, like, this isn't too far off, but it's still real, a lot further away. So all the way from about 250 up to about 6K, it really did a lot of work. And on this higher frequency, the new calibration is a little bit worse than the old. So basically what that's telling me is that these new panels are actually taking away some of the higher frequencies, and I don't want it to do that. So what I can do to fix that is, you see this more circular shaped panel? That is a combination. It's a bass trap, like an absorption and diffusion. So what I could do to fix this high frequency is I can get some diffusers that are dedicated to just those high frequencies, because you can tune diffusers and you can tune panels. I can get it tuned to those high frequencies, everything above, from above 10K, and that'll help diffuse that so the room's not responding so harsh to it. Okay, so that's pretty easy. Sorry, my kids are yelling. Anyways, just wanted to show you that, and I'm out. Okay, back to the video. As we stated, room treatment can get very expensive. It's going to cost me probably $3,200 by the end of it. So I get it, it's not cheap, but it's something that's more important than plugins. It's more important than anything other than your speakers and microphone, if you sing, rap, whatever, and then your computer probably. So just keep that in mind. Speakers, microphone if you need one, your computer, and your room treatment. Those are the most important things. That's where you should put all your money. This is my advice. I'm not telling you how to spend your money, but put your money towards those things first. Stop buying all these plugins. You have so many free options available to you that it's not worth spending all your money on those things when you need to treat your room first. If your room is lying to you, then your plugins are not going to do anything for you. Okay? All right. So, you got anything?
Y'all see how I was quick scoping that target bullseye away? Like,
Yeah.
what? Killing it.
He was doing some like Fortnite stuff. Quick scope.
So good.
Yeah. So, that was the first time he did it, and when the first time you do it, it's going to be exactly the same. It's going to be like very frustrating because it's like, what is this software telling me to do? You just can't figure it out. If I wasn't here to tell him, he probably would have been sitting here like me the first time I did it. It took me almost 3 hours.
Yeah, it's like you said though, you need to keep it centered. And if you have it centered the first time, it's good. But if you keep it centered and pointed at the center and level, it's pretty easy. You get the hang of it. It's like a grid. Tells you where to go.
Tells you where to go. And that center point, just remember, that's your listening position. The first one that you did where it's like, hey, where's your listening position? And you put it where your ears are supposed to be. That is the center point. That's what it takes as your center point of the grid that it shows.
Yeah, that's why I was messing up a little bit because I wasn't on center.
Yeah.
So it was moving the whole time, even though I wasn't moving.
Yeah.
You gotta line it up.
Well, there's like those two that were up at the very front. You're like, it doesn't look like it's that far. But when you think about, okay, the middle is right here.
Yeah.
Then of course it is that far.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like that because the grid looks small.
Yeah.
Anyways, we talked about some acoustic treatment, specifically for small rooms. Also, we did the actual analysis of the room and got a new frequency response that this software can work off of when I'm mixing and mastering. I will have this on every time I am using my speakers or my headphones. I'll just switch it over. If you see right here, I have my headphone calibration in there as well. So whatever I'm working on, just remember, this will be the very last plug-in on your mastered bus or your mastered channel, your stereo out channel. But before you bounce it down and you export your song, you have to turn this off because this is calibrated to your speakers only. So if you bounce it down and you export and you send it off to somebody and they listen to it in their car, then it's gonna sound weird because it has your frequency response of your room baked into the song. You don't want that. You want it to be just free of any calibration. Okay? Remember that.
Remember it.
Remember it. All right.
You remember.
You remember. I don't remember anything from last night. Remember? So I think that's it, dogs. Peace.
Doses.